Ahoy hoy everyone, it's Craig back at EPCOT with another Disney dining review. Before I get started, I want to remind you this is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. If you like our content and you want to support us, please consider booking a vacation through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Now what brings me to EPCOT? Well, I'm going to eat at the newly opened Food and Wine Festival booths. And when I say newly open, I mean they've already been open for at least a week now. I believe they open on August 15th. I was traveling when that happened, so in that time there's probably been a million videos and podcasts and articles written all about that food. I'm late to the game, but I still want to try them. And the four that opened were Coastal Eats, Mac and Eats, Hawaii, and the Noodle Exchange. And three of those four actually do have at least one new item, so I'm gonna try only the new things. That does mean I'm going to skip the Noodle Exchange today, but you know what? It's very hot. I don't think I really want hot noodle soup. But anyways, let's go hit up those booths. I'm gonna get that new food. We're gonna do some eating. First up for me is Hawaii because of the Spam Musubi with sushi rice, teriyaki glazed Spam, spicy mayonnaise, eel sauce, and nori. I get Spam Musubi every time I go and get poke at my favorite spot in Orlando. And Spam Musubi is just like the perfect side dish for me. It's usually an appetizer. Get it because I need to eat something while I'm driving home to have my poke, and I just can't wait. You know, very simple, just your Spam with white rice wrapped around seaweed, usually a little bit of teriyaki sauce inside. So the way this is dressed up does make it seem fancier, but you know, it's really just a little spicy mayonnaise and the eel sauce with it. It's nothing too fancy. But I'm embarrassed. I usually use chopsticks with my right hand. Well, usually I pick up Spam Musubi and just eat it with my hands, but this kind of requires chopsticks or a fork. I don't know how to use chopsticks with my left hand, so I just had to stab it through with a chopstick, and I'm super embarrassed about it. Thanks for pointing it out. But here we go. The Spam Musubi actually ended up being really solid. I love a good salty Spam, then add on to that salty soy sauce. It really like takes that saltiness to the next level. But then having that spicy mayo and the eel sauce actually made it a little bit more complex than normally when I have Spam Musubi. So I really enjoyed that. The seaweed salad that came with it was also very refreshing. I would absolutely get this dish again. You know, for the price, $6, I felt like it was a very fair portion here at EPCOT, and I give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah, I'd absolutely get it again. Next up for me was Coastal Eats, and I went with the big Scampi Dip with shrimp, scallops, and a baguette. It was between that or oysters Rockefeller, and I really didn't want to get sick eating oysters in EPCOT, so I went with the baked Scampi Dip. And the baguette served with it is very small. You know, there's enough for 4 slices, but then there's clearly way more dip than baguette, so some of this you're just going to be eating all on its own. I went ahead and teed up my first little baguette here with the dip, the little baby shrimp that's on it, and I believe 1 scallop as well. So here goes nothing. This dish is intense with garlic, and it is very heavy, especially on a hot day like today. Honestly, it kind of tastes like a spinach artichoke dip, just with added seafood in there, and spinach flavor is really coming through right along with that garlic, which I love spinach, so not a problem for me. I think the seafood's probably not the highest quality, but you know what? It kind of gets masked behind the flavors of the garlic and the spinach, so you can kind of get away with that. And then the breadcrumbs add a nice little buttery texture to the top of it as well. And I'm really happy that I tried this. I probably wouldn't get it again, but I would rate it like a 3.5 out of 5. Maybe even a 3 out of 5. I'm not quite sure. I'll see once I'm finished with it where I really feel. But for $6, I thought that the portion size was definitely matching what you are getting. And maybe you just want to share it with someone else so you don't reek of garlic all day. Finally, I'm having the chili cheese macaroni and cheese from Mac and Eats, and this is macaroni and cheese topped with that chili, cheddar cheese, sour cream, and then also green onions. And this is actually a plant-based chili, making this a plant-based dish. And last year from here, I got the cowboy mac and cheese with the brisket and, you know, just all the big toppings on there, all the barbecue toppings. But this year, I'm trying this brand new plant-based item. See how it goes. Honestly, this one's a little bit disappointing. For macaroni and cheese, I'm expecting a lot of cheese, and this is really lacking. It just doesn't really have a lot of cheese flavor. The plant-based chili, I am shocked, actually does taste like just any other chili you've probably had in your life. There's a slight hint of spice, now that nice acidity from tomatoes with it. The beans help round out that flavor. So the chili's nice, and then the sour cream helps to cool it all off. There's actually corn chips on there too, so you get a little crunch from that, as well as that zip from the green onions, but I just need more cheese. It's kind of a failure for mac and cheese to not be really cheesy. So I'd probably give this one like a 2.5 out of 5. I would not try this one again. I'd maybe try one of the other macaroni and cheeses. And for $5.50, it's a good portion size, but it's just not delivering the flavor that I want. Now that I've fully melted, let's officially wrap this up. Again, I had the Spam Musubi from Hawaii, which was awesome. I would get it again. I'm still thinking about that delicious Spam, that soy flavor. It just really hit the spot. It was really good. Would highly recommend. I also had the baked Scampi Dip from Coastal Eats, which honestly wasn't bad. It was pretty good. My biggest problem with it, when all was said and done, is that they didn't give you enough bread. So you get that one little baguette to dip in the Scampi Dip, but I still had like half of my dip left over, and so I just had to sit there and eat it with a fork, like an absolute monster, instead of using it as a dip, as it was. So they need more bread, but that's my biggest problem with that one. And then the chili cheese macaroni and cheese, that plant-based macaroni and cheese, which was honestly just okay. It was nothing spectacular, wasn't offensive, but I wouldn't get it again. And that's from Mac and Eats. Go for either the traditional or the cowboy macaroni and cheese. Those are safer choices, I think, than the chili cheese. But ultimately, you know, you can't really go too wrong with the EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival. Stroll around, find whatever sounds good to you, make those choices, and let me know what you think about them, because I'm always interested in that. Maybe I'll try something that I haven't even had before. But that's going to do it for this Disney dining review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave comments, questions, video suggestions in the comments section. And if you want to support us more, book a trip through Dreams Unlimited Travel. Get a free no obligation quote today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. But that's it for me here at EPCOT. I'll see you again real soon with another Disney dining review. Take care. Bye-bye.